What is going on, everybody? Kamusta kayo lahat mula sa Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, LA, New York, Boston, San Francisco, or wherever the heck you are on the planet? This is your one and only JOAT, the place to be for any niche, every genre, and all generations. I am your master of ceremony, D to the E to the LRO, aka JDR, aka the extraordinary introvert. So, as always, every time we start a sports episode, look at Curry, man. So inspirational. So, guys, did you miss my voice? I know it's been a while since I was here on this setting, on the setup on the pod, but obviously life got busy. But we are back here, and tamang-tama kasi kakatapos lang kanina ng NBA season. But that's not the only thing we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about sports once again. And if in season 1, we talked about sports in 2020, syempre, for season 2, we're going to talk about sports in 2021. So, I had to bring these guys back because we had such a very interesting discussion long season 1. And I'm sure we're going to be in for a even crazier round, especially lalo na ngayon na pa-playoffs now let, and slowly but surely we're starting to get back to normal, at least in the sports scene. So guys, please help me introduce the Maroon Talk boys. So if you still, or if you guys forgot who is part of the cast of Maroon Talk, so you got here si Sir Fim Maran, aka the guy who knows all the sports. So he knows basketball, he knows soccer, he can bowl, he can definitely go for a perfect swing on the golf course. So that's Fim for you. Of course, we have attorney Enzo Ragondola, and if we need to play good defense on the court, we also need to play good defense on the court, but not the basketball court. But for law students, I'm sure y'all know what court I'm referring to. So for all the lawyers out there, we need y'all to play great D on the court, especially against the very shady judicial system. Pero alam nyo na yan. So, what's up to attorney Enzo Regondola?
Yes,
Of
sir.
course,
What's up?
we gotta give it up also for Pielo Melo. And sorry guys, Carmelo, La Melo, sino kayo? You guys, wala kayong kalaban-laban sa Pielo Melo. He's the best Melo
Carmelo.
on this screen. And even though he is not here, we gotta give it up for the guy who makes it sizzle. We gotta give it up for Toe Bizzle. Oh shizzle. So what is up, everybody? Welcome back. Kamusta na kayo lahat?
Hey, what's up, Jake?
What's up,
Thank you
Jake?
for that wonderful introduction for all of us.
Grabe yun.
Yes, sir.
Grabe yun, Sharon. Thank you for having us here back again. No? It's always fun to have
Yes,
to guest here in your podcast. So thank you,
definitely.
man.
Definitely. So, even though I introduced you guys, so just to give a brief background, so paki-introduce naman yung sarili nyo. But this time around, maybe you guys could also tell me some of your favorite teams, of the teams you stand, so that some of my followers can join your bandwagon, or or my listeners can absolutely roast you guys. So go ahead, floor is now for all of you.
Ako muna. Sige, I'll go ahead. Yeah, for the NBA right now, I'm cheering for the Brooklyn Nets. I've started cheering for them ever since the logo changed. So that was like what, 2013, 2012, and now we're going again deep in the playoffs. Tapos you can see my Raiders background here, but I'm not really a Raiders fan. I just think it's cool. That's why it's here. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with silver and black. So, yeah.
Yes.
And I support Liverpool for football, pretty much. Baseball, New York Yankees, but I'm wearing the Cubs championship shirt right now. Yun, mostly yan. Sa akin, syempre, yun lang. Most of the teams I support are those teams. So, on to you, Zoe.
Ako naman, as many of you guys know, Phoenix Suns since 04, through the good and bad and the worst times, which we just passed. Football, New England Patriots since 2002, 2003.
Oh.
Kahit wala na si Tom Brady, let's go Pats. Baseball, San Francisco Giants. Number 1 sa NL West. Above the Dodgers. And syempre sa college basketball, UP Fighting Maroons.
Of
Yan.
course.
Yun lang.
Yellow,
Oh,
mellow.
Ikaw, Pielo Melo.
Ako sa NBA, Lakers talaga ako. Pero may mga sinusundan ako mga player. So kahit anong team basta nandun si Carmelo, saka nandun si Kyrie.
Melo Ball.
Yellow boy.
Carmelo. So yun sa NBA. Tapos sa EuroLeague basketball, Real Madrid tsaka FCB. Tapos football, Real Madrid din tsaka Man U. So yun.
Nice.
Yun lang.
Yes, nice. Good teams right there. So those are the teams that my guests currently stand right now. So even though Toby's not here, I still remember he is the LA boy. So he's the LA homer. So he
Yeah.
stands all teams LA except the Clippers though. But yeah, he's an LA Rams fan, LA Lakers fan, and an LA Dodgers fan. So yep, that's Toby for you guys. So if Toby is a Laker homer, I am a Bay Area resident. Well, first of all, I am a huge fan of the one and only Ateneo Blue Eagles. And grabe no, naka-3-peat na. But Miss Rona stays undefeated. So dahil walang season, obviously, walang 4-peat, so ayun. Mother Nature is the only team that can beat Ateneo right now. But yeah, that's the team that I stand in the Philippines. So as I mentioned earlier, I am a Bay Area resident. So I stand the San Francisco 49ers, the San Francisco Giants, maybe a little bit of Oakland since it's still parts of the Bay Area, but they're in Las Vegas. So Niners pa rin ako. And last but not the least, if you guys can see it through my screen, I stand the one and the only Golden State Warriors. Yup, I'm a Warriors fan for life ever since the Run TMC days, the Gilbert Arenas days before he was the Wizards, the We Believe era, and my favorite era of all time, Dub Nation with Steph, Clay, Draymond. So, para sa inyo yan sa mga inaakalang ako ay isang bandwagon Warriors fan, that is absolutely false. Die Hard Warrior fan.
Parang si Eric Dampier days.
Eric Dampier, Troy
Tsaka
Murphy,
si
Of course,
Danny Fortson.
Danny Fortson.
Andres
Coach Don.
Biedrins. But yeah, guys, basically Die Hard Warriors fan. And super sabik talaga ako kasi kakagising ko lang ng 3:30 in the morning just to catch that final game earlier. Grabe guys, sobrang stressful maging Warriors fan. Ang daming games na close the past few games, but I'm just happy that we are back in the play-in after not even showing up last year. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. And quick warning to all of you guys. So quick warning, expect me to spend most of this time in this episode just fanboying and standing the Warriors. But alam nyo na yun. And we're just gonna have a great time again, sharing stories and thoughts and all of that. So now that we've done introducing our teams, let's get to it. So guys, ako lang ba, or are you guys starting to notice a trend? So of course, hindi pa rin puno yung mga arenas and all, but slowly but surely, dumadagsa na yung mga fans of every NBA team and of other sports too. Like for example, sa MLB, may mga fans on the stands. And then sa Super Bowl, last February, kahit hindi puno, like there's still some resemblance of, team spirit. So what are your thoughts on just sports in general starting to return to normalcy? Like, naka-refresh, diba? After almost having a year of basically no sports at all.
Oo, meron na actually. Mas napapansin ko siya sa baseball mostly right now. Kasi mafe-feel mo talaga yung crowd, lalo na pag nag-rally yung team. Like, let's say you have a situation that bases are loaded and you get the feel of the fans on their feet. Ibang-iba yung feeling nung nag-playoffs last year yung MLB all the way to the World Series na walang tao. I mean, you get the artificial crowd noise from the TV set, the TV broadcast people. Pero ngayon, meron na talaga. Kita mo yung... Sa NBA, di ko masyado maramdaman eh. Well, you can hear them kasi malayo sila eh, di ba? From the players, from the court. Sa baseball, kita mo talaga eh, di ba? Kayo ba, Zo? Yun.
Sa akin, yung tingin ko doon, as an athlete, as a competitor, malaking bagay siya to boost your moral sa game. Kahit nasabihin na natin na away ka, makita mo lang na may mga fans na nanonood. Malaking boost na yun sa'yo kasi parang ang pangit maglaro talaga pag athlete ka tapos pag professional athlete ka tapos wala kang makitang fans or supporters sa arena. Parang medyo kaya siguro nasabi nila na parang na siya pick up game, practice game ganun kasi wala kang marinig na mga nagta-trash talk, mga sumisigaw, mga ganun.
Tama. It goes both ways eh. Kung home ka, support na sa'yo. Pero kung away player ka, doon mo mararamdaman na may something to prove ka to that crowd kasi you're there to upset the home team.
Pero maganda na dumadami na yung tao kasi tingin ko mababawasan yung mga technical na walang kwenta. Kasi rinig na rinig, di ba, yung mga player ngayon. So, dami technical na parang we always think nothing happened kasi we didn't hear it in the broadcast. Pero baka may nasabi nga naman dun sa court na, it's more audible because there's no crowd there. So, the refs can hear the players a lot more, di ba? Tapos, yung sa trend naman na it's kind of going back to normal. Yeah, good for the US. It's going back to normal. I think you can see this in the UFC. Diba? I think the latest UFC or the two latest parang they already performed in a sold out, fully packed arena in Jacksonville yata. Somewhere in Florida. So, and yun, the trend is there nga. And perfect timing for the NBA playoffs na, dumadami ng tao as the intensity of the games pick up and the importance of the games also heighten. So, good, parang the NBA is riding the wave, kumbaga.
Actually, nakita ko MLS din kahapon. MLS, Major League Soccer. 100% yung crowd nandun na. So, ba? Inisip ko, replay ba to? Or nung zino-zoom na yung mga ng camera sa crowd, nakamask yung mga tao. So, hindi malamang recent yun. So, grabe yung nila. I mean, nagulat ako na 100%. Kasi dikit-dikit, pulo yung stadium. So, I mean, good for US sports. At least they're getting back on slowly but surely to normal ways.
Yup, and let the response be sana all. So, kailan
True,
kaya?
sana all.
Sana all talaga.
Yeah. Kailan kaya mababalik yung atmosphere na yun sa MOA or sa Araneta? I mean, obviously we know the answer to that, but kayo, when do you guys think makakabalik yung lively atmosphere na yun over here in our shores?
Good question. I think it depends on the people up there. Yung mga namumuno sa bansang to. Alam mo na yun. Nasa kanila yung problema eh.
Sa akin, we'd be lucky if we get to have that in 2 to 3 years. Sobrang swerte na natin.
Yeah.
Na mabalik yun ng gano'n. Sa akin, that's my answer.
Siguro para sa akin hindi yung question na kung kailan mababalik yung ganong atmosphere. Siguro yung question na mas importante sa akin ngayon, kailan mababakunahan yung mga tao?
Right. Tama.
Yep.
That's true. And fortunately, nakikita ko sa SOCMED, yung Araneta daw yung MOA, parang ginagawang mega vac sites. So hopefully, makakatulong yun sa pagbilis ng vaccine rollout. So yeah, tama nga kayong lahat. It's gonna take a total team effort to get everyone back in the arenas. But yes, it's gonna take a really long time. But hopefully we do get there because honestly nakakamiss, no, like as much as there's sports overseas and our favorite league is back after all the uncertainties last year, iba pa rin yung sports dito sa Philippines, like not just basketball but all the other sports, kasi I know some of you guys like really take the time to support other athletes, like whether it's volleyball, soccer, and all of that. So what are your thoughts pala sa mga student athletes who miss out on playing years? Like I'm starting to notice a trend na karamihan sa mga student athletes that are like supposed to play out their final years, they've either went overseas or they've went to the pros na. So I don't know, what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, actually, yun pala yung sagot sa kung bakit ang dami nagpa-draft ng PBA, the last draft. I was also wondering why everyone was applying for the draft for this draft. So apparently, yun nga din yung pinakasagot doon. Kasi you have no idea when college sports will be back. So it's either you wait it out and sacrifice getting income for X amount of years with no certainty, or just risk it and get drafted by a team. So yun nga, I mean, it's sad. You get, I think the juniors basketball programs here at this time have the most talent in recent years na we've known. So ang daming masasayang na talent or undiscovered talents that we won't really hear about in the coming years because they won't be given exposure as compared to the players that have gone before them. So that's the negative side for siguro they're just at the wrong place at the wrong time right now. So that's really sad for those types of athletes. Phil, feeling ko may ma-add ka dyan about this issue.
Yung sa akin, yun nga, sobrang sayang kasi ang sobrang hype na yung collegiate league sa country natin. Hindi lang sa UAAP, hindi lang din sa basketball.
Yeah.
Sa ibang sports din, saka sa ibang collegiate leagues. So, parang sayang yung yung mga players na hindi natin nakita yung full potential nila sa collegiate level. Kasi let's face it, pagdating nila sa pros, mag-iiba na yung game nila eh. Depende sa management, depende sa corporation na mapupuntahan nila. Saka depende sa coach kung bibigyan sila ng chance na laruin yung laro nila sa college.
Pero yun nga parang sila naman kasi I mean, I think yung mga nagpumunta ng pros, nag-abroad, dati pa, parang yan na yung nila. That's the career path that they've chosen. So, it just so happened na nawala yung sports. Kung mga estudyante sila, nawala yung sports, and then natapos yung school year, so pwede na silang, siguro graduate na sila or something. Na parang, the next step naman talaga is to have a living, di ba? To play professionally, and yun lang. I mean, I guess we just lost, yun nga, like PL said, we just lost the opportunity to see them with, for example, in the case of UP, with a lot of new talent. We didn't see Kobe play with them. Kobe Paras did not play with them. Turned pro. Pero kasi magpo-pro din naman siya at some point. It's just, yun nga, nawala yung stage na naglaro siya for those years. Pero the turning pro would eventually happen. Parang Yun lang, hindi lang natin nakita yung interim playing time niya dapat with his college team. And the same goes for the other athletes in other sports.
Oh, you can look at it in actually. Let's just put it in two different perspectives. You have the high profile elite athletes na who can go pro whenever they want, and you have the middle class mediocre, hindi naman mediocre, mga lesser talented athletes compared to the elites.
Yeah.
So, meron kayong mga role player type of athlete na who can get a break in the next level, aka the UAP or the NCAA, even the MPBL. But that gap we have right now in terms of having a league, having a tournament to play in, would be a big factor for their career. So, we'll see what happens to them. Lalo yung mga role to have it more relatively to the layman. Yung mga role players sa UAB, I mean, suntok sa buwan na lang kung makapag-PBA talaga sila eh. What more ngayon na walang tournament? So what else do they have in store for them? If ever they do want to pursue their career pa rin after college.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Yeah, that's true. And you can really tell how super dire yung sitwasyon. Like, it's already dire here in the Philippines alone. But if you look at sports in general, like, grabe, there's so much talent that could have been exposed, like, in sports. But just because we lost that 1 year, ang daming ripple effect. Ang daming naging ripple effect to all these athletes. You know, they've had no choice but to look for backup plans. And, you know, as us fans, you know, like, as much as we're grateful na nandun yung NBA and all these other sports leagues to entertain us despite this never-ending lockdown, like, iba pa rin yung atmosphere dito. Like, y'all know the Philippines, like, super diehard basketball country. And, you know, just going to the games, I'm sure you guys experienced this. Like, super ibang level yung pagpunta sa Araneta or sa MOA, just, you know, supporting your favorite team. And me personally, I kind of miss hearing you guys after every game, just kind of ranting about certain wins and L's on the pod. So, yeah, sana talaga, you know.
Ranting about ball movement. Or lack thereof.
And they don't even have drums in the US for college basketball, di ba? So di ba, yung mga naglalaro dito from the States, they get shocked. Na ganun. I mean, the crowd level in the US NCAA is crazy on its own, but you put in the drums of the UAP and the NCAA, it's a totally different atmosphere compared to what they have in the US. So yeah, it's really one of a kind. So yeah, we do miss it.
So yeah, barring any miracle or miracle nga talaga. Hopefully we do get it sooner rather than later. But yun nga, the important thing is to get everyone safe and vaccinated. And sana talaga, like, these athletes mabakunahan na rin, because as us supportive Pinoy fans, we really want to see homegrown talent just, you know, shine wherever. So yeah, hopefully they will be able to get the support they need, whether medical or more so financial, just to make up for all the losses that they've had to undergo throughout this very unprecedented times that we're at. Agree. Yeah. All right. So I know medyo lungkot no nung usapan, just because, you know, while it's all happy, yeah, super heavy, because you're looking at the rest of the world, they're like packed arenas, or they're just going about their day in terms of sports. It's crazy how we sometimes take it for granted, especially kapag normal day. But now that haven't had it in such a while, you're like, oh shoot, I took for granted this aspect in my life, and I know it's just extra compared to what I do every day, but like, it brings so much joy. So hopefully guys, like, makabalik tayo with these sporting events, and hopefully we'll be able to experience these again. But for the meantime, it's all about keeping safe always. So
Yep.
With that, all that stuff out of the way, actually, I have a feeling na, unlike our previous episodes of Super Haba, this is gonna be brief. But uh, the reason why I have this episode right now is because, like I said, kakatapos yung regular season, and I'm seeing a lot of posts on my Twitter feed or FB timeline, posting their predictions. Uh, the sporting gods or the betting sites are starting to make good money. So I guess this is a perfect time to look forward to the NBA playoffs, I guess. So
Yeah.
first of all,
Yeah.
ano yung mga thoughts niyo? Like, first of all, super duper shout out to the NBA. I know it's not a perfect league and all, but the fact that may liga ulit and the fact that we have a playoffs and all that, despite all the challenges, like it's super duper W. So before we get into the picks and all that, what are you guys' initial thoughts and feelings that we've reached this far into the regular season, despite all the odds stacked against us?
Yeah, it's been a challenging season for them. When we entered the first part of the season, I think there were multiple games that were postponed because of cases, positive players who were positive. And eventually, they got through it. And now here we are. Hindi ko lang alam mo ano nangyari dito sa mga na-postpone na games. So na-move naman sila siguro to the latter.
Na-move.
Yun. At least, diba? I mean, it's very logistically, it's kind of tough if you look at it. Pero ang pinaka-notice ko this season is yung back-to-back games, di ba? Pag laban sila, lalo pag East-West, back-to-back pa lang games sila palagi. So, oo nga naman, it makes sense logistically. So, and it made things work. So, yeah, for a bettor's perspective, medyo weird siya. Kasi you get to play the same team twice in 2 days. So it's you won't really know if they're gonna perform the same or differently in the next game. So yun, I mean that's one thing I really noticed in this season. Kayo ba? Ano napansin niyo for the NBA season?
Siyempre, sige, go Piel.
Sige.
Ano na?
Sige. Una napansin ko yung setup nila. Yun nga, meron ng away tsaka home game. Wala na sila sa bubble. So parang siguro kung NBA player ka, yung mindset mo parang medyo nano-normalize na yung league. Kasi kahit walang fans, at least nagta-travel ka, ibang court yung napupuntahan, ibang arena yung napupuntahan mo, siguro half of the season, ganun. So magandang yung plano ng NBA. Tsaka yung nila, yung contact tracing nila. Parang sinesecure talaga nila na lahat ng players safe. Tapos pag merong nag-violate sa protocol, sit down ka muna for 10 to 14 days, mga ganun.
Yeah.
Ayun, tsaka nga yung sinabi ni Tim na yung back-to-back games. Mahirap yun eh. Kasi parang pagka 82 games na regular season ng NBA, pag may back-to-back ka, pipiliin mo lang yung parang mamimili ka dun sa dalawang games na yun kung ano yung ipapanalo mo kasi may stretch naman yung yung season mo eh. Pero yung ngayon kasi pagka natalo ka sa back-to-back games, tapos yung conference nyo or yung division nyo medyo mabigat, malaki yung implications niya. So, parang mahirap din. 72 games pa sila ngayon.
Oo, tama.
Yung sa akin, ang napansin ko talaga yung sa COVID protocols kasi a lot of teams were affected. I think most especially the Boston Celtics. I think ako nakitang infographic na parang they were the team that lost the most games to COVID related missed games, COVID protocol, yun yung contact tracing or by COVID. And yun, nakita nyo naman yung Boston, kahit na very talented sila, they're in the play-in part of the bracket because yun nga, may virus eh. And it caused their players to miss a lot of time. So, syempre, if you miss a lot of time, parang injuries, ano yan, it would affect team chemistry, mawawalan kayo ng rhythm sa court. So, yun, nakita, that's the effect. I think they're the worst hit team nga sa NBA. Sayang kasi last year, parang contender sila, tapos ngayon, sobrang inconsistent. I mean, I think, considered, ano pa rin sila, parang top team sa East. Pero very inconsistent yung play nila. Which is yun nga, it's a direct result of that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And early in the season, ang daming teams that had some players, sit out some games due to this new protocol. But as with most NBA fans would say, this season was pretty much successful just because, not because natapos lang, but just the amount of meaningful games there were, amount of highlights, of course, and all that stuff. I think it really contributed to this super kakaibang NBA season. And since Enzo mentioned the play-in tourney a while ago, so what do you guys think about the new format? Okay ba or hard pass? Let's stick to the old
I love it.
usual format.
I love it.
Wala
I
ba siya
love
last year? Wala ba siya last year? Kung meron.
Iba yung format last year.
Oh.
Pero may okay.
Yun yung merong requirement na dapat 4 ba? 4 games back yung 9 seed sa 8 seed. Tapos maglalaban sila. Na parang may
Twice to beat
advantage si number 8. So yung may ganun. Yun yung play-in last year.
Ito yung first part ng
So,
bubble
pwedeng-
last year.
Then, yung
Ito yung after nung 8 games.
Okay.
yung Memphis saka Portland.
Mhm.
Yun.
So,
So
yun.
ngayon, iba na siya.
Mas simple siya kumbaga. Ayun. No.
Oo, mas simple. Tsaka ako, I love it. I mean, ako nung nag-bubble pa lang last year, naisip ko na this should stay. This should, carry on forward. Dapat merong ganito. Kasi, tingnan nyo, towards the end of the season, last day of the regular season, how many games were meaningful? Yung nga, tulad sinabi ni Jake, there were a lot of meaningful games towards the end of the season. Which, alam mo yun, pagka normal regular season, at this time of the season, parang wala na yan eh. Ipapahinga na nung top teams yung players nila kasi secure na yung position nila, protect them from injury, papahinga na nila to prepare for the playoffs. Pero ngayon, yung Utah kanina, nilaro pa yung starters nila. Kasi kung matatalo sila, magna number 2 sila sa West. So parang, alam mo yun, number 1 seed na yan, tapos ganun pa rin yung effort nila. And not just today, but even the past 2-3 weeks na, yun nga, in a normal regular season, these would be the time na maglo-load manage, magkakaroon ng injury, tapos, ganun na yun, di ba? Tapos, yun nga, yung mga national TV games, parang wala yung superstars, tapos, basta, ganun. Ganun na yung nangyayari. Ngayon, wala na yun.
Yes.
So, the play-in tournament made the competitive nature of the NBA extend. Diba? I mean, meron pa ring teams na nagpapahinga ng players nila. Pero konti na lang yun eh. Sobrang bawas compared to previous seasons.
Yeah. Ang naisip ko dyan, yung may talks, I think a few years ago, yung NBA na tanggalin yung East-West format when it comes to the playoffs. So, ito pala yung in-address sila for that. So, that if I remember correctly, dati, wala nang East-West, just get the top 16 teams in the whole league. So, I mean, this is another solution to that, which makes sense din naman. Kasi, yung East-West, yung conference setup, may, how do you say that? May pride, sense of pride, and whatever. So, heading into this play-in tournament, you give a chance to the top 10 teams in the conference, which makes sense din naman. So, it's like sort of like the NCAA tournament ng college na mas competitive, kumbaga. So, yeah, sabi ni Enzo, it extends the competitiveness ng league, ng teams, which is something that's been lagging behind the past few years in this generation of the NBA, which the former players have been really pointing at, like Shaq, Charles Barkley, and the like. So yeah, it's a step towards getting back to the old competitive ways of the league.
Yes. And the beauty also about the play-in, like it's not a long dragging best of 7, but it is
Oh,
single
Sudden
game. Yes, on the death,
Tama,
March
tama.
Madness
Okay.
style.
Para siyang kumbaga sa baseball, yung wild card.
wild card. Oh, tama. Tama. So,
Which is actually, nagtataka nga ako bakit hanggang ngayon hindi pa rin ina-adapt ng NBA yun eh. Kasi kahit sa football may wild card, di ba? Na
kung ano,
yun. I think this is a step in the right direction talaga. The play-in
Wow.
tournament format.
mas ano yun sa West, di ba? Sabihin mo ng, competitive din naman East, pero yung sa West, I mean,
Yes.
how many years have they been having 1 to 8 seeds na sobrang ticket to records, diba?
Mhm.
So, tas biglang ma-eliminate ka sa playoffs dahil ilang games lang yung ano mo. Kahit na sabihin mong maganda yung season mo, even if you're the 9th or 8th seed in the West. So yeah, this gives them a chance to have a final say in a way
Mhm.
for their season. And yeah, tulad ng sabi ni Jake, it's an exciting part of the tournament. Kasi nga, you have to be the best on that day
Yes.
where you have the game where it matters. So, if you have a bad day, you can't make any excuses. Kasi if you want to be champions in the league, you have to beat everyone on any given day. That makes it exciting.
Yeah. Definitely. And I know
Kaso,
there
baka mag disagree si ano dyan, si LeBron.
Wala kasi Laker fan natin ngayon eh. Hindi sumawa eh.
Yes, I was going to
Go ahead, Jake.
I was going to segue nga, like the play-in is fun, all March Madness format. You have to do your best. And remember, yes, there are 8 teams, but I'm sure, no disrespect to the other 6 teams, I'm sure those are going to be exciting matchups across the board. But I'm sure we all are looking forward to seeing 2 teams go at it in the West. So of course we have the defending champions, the Los Angeles Lakers, with LeBron, AD, Caruso, Kuzma. Basically, they have a stacked squad.
Jared Dudley.
Going up against Steph Curry and the Warriors. Yup. Basically, Steph washed up Draymond.
Wiseman.
Andrew Wiggins.
Sino pa ba?
Wiggins.
Wiggins.
Bust down shot
Kelly
according to
Oubre.
Twitter. Kelly Oubre, Jordan Poole,
Nico Mannion. Si White
Yun.
Boy.
Alan Smiley.
Yun. Sino yung mga... Anyway, yeah. Actually, I'm looking forward to this matchup right away. We're gonna have it Thursday, Manila time. 7-8 seed ng West. So, whoever wins here will be 7. Tama ba, Jake?
Yes. Tama.
And who loses will face either...
First.
Hindi. Basta, whoever loses is still has a chance.
Mhm.
So, what do you think?
I mean, the common consensus is dapat manalo yung Lakers, and rightfully so. They have the better team, they have the better players. But, you know, you gotta play the game still. And so as long as you have Steph, you know, anything can happen. So,
And I mean, the freaking
Yep.
Warriors are peaking at the right time right now.
yep.
So, if you're gonna be scared of the Warriors, this is the perfect time to be scared of them.
Yes. No one wants
So
to
we'll
play
see.
us.
We'll see that young core na you guys have.
Mhm.
See how it lasts in the rough streets of the NBA playoffs.
Yes. And honestly, like personal opinion, like ang dadaming, magagandang series and all that. I saw the bracket kanina, but it's really the Lakers Warriors matchup that everyone's looking forward to because there's so much history between LeBron and Steph, and of course these are two very competent franchises. So it's gonna be an all-out war on Thursday, and I'm really excited. As a Warrior fan, like finally being able to watch a meaningful game since 2019.
2019.
Oh. I get busy at 10 a.m. Manila time, Thursday.
Yeah, I can't miss it because I'm gonna scout our next opponent.
Oo nga pala.
Bakit? Sino ba ano? Si 6. 2 ang Phoenix. Yeah,
2 ang Suns eh.
Phoenix. Tama. So...
Go Warriors.
Wala.
Go Warriors.
Ako rin, Warriors ako dito, honestly. Warriors ako for this
Yes.
matchup, specific matchup. I just want to see. I mean, this is how we're gonna test the defending champs nga if
Yes.
they really are. Kasi heading into the season, I mean, everyone thought we're gonna go back to back. But then the current form right now is like making everyone doubt if they're gonna do that.
Tapos na-injure pa si LeBron kanina, di ba?
Oo nga daw.
Anong injury niya?
Parang
Ito
rolled his ankle daw eh.
Na naman?
Left the game and did return eh. So,
Oh no.
I mean,
Tapos
hindi naman siya ganun ka
Kasi
serious. Pero ankle pa rin.
Factor yan.
Oo.
Oo.
Factor pa rin.
Tingnan natin ang tactics ni Frank Vogel and the like.
Kailangan niya i-unleash si Jared Dudley.
Schroeder ba naglalaro? Si Schroeder?
Oo, bumalik na
Naglalaro
sila.
siya?
Sabay sila ni LeBron.
Okay. So, tingnan natin.
yes.
Ikaw,
Anything can
Pil,
happen.
sino ka dyan? Sino kayo? Hindi, Warriors is so, ikaw, Pil.
Medyo mahirap eh. Gusto ko Lakers syempre, pero yun nga, sabi mo nga, nagpipick yung Golden State eh. So, siguro kung manalo Lakers dyan, siguro bahala na lang si si THT, si Caruso,
Oo.
tsaka si Schroeder. Kung paano nila didepensahan si Steph. Kasi,
Mm.
sure ball, gagawa yan ng 45 to 55 points.
Tama.
Scoring champ eh.
Scoring
MVP
champ.
yan.
Tama.
They're right here.
Pero maganda yun kung ma-eliminate na yung Lakers para wala na yung
Oo.
length nila. Doon talaga ako natatakot eh. Yung Lakers sobrang haba ng players nila.
Oo,
Yes.
actually.
LeBron, AD, Drummond,
Drummond.
Mark Gasol. Tapos may ano ka pa? Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell.
Oh.
Kuzma.
Segue na natin dun sa ano. So kung matalo ko si Lakers, sabihin na natin matalo ang Lakers sa Warriors. Ang kakalabanan nila is kung sinong matalo sa Memphis saka San Antonio.
May mananalo. May mananalo doon.
Sino mananalo?
Ano ba? Tama. Sino mananalo? Sino mananalo sa Memphis saka San Antonio? Ano pang setup yun ng Memphis saka ng Grizzlies at Spurs? Ano? Ja Morant tsaka DeMar. Tama ba?
Oo. Kaso mas may pieces kasi yung Memphis ngayon eh.
Okay.
Mas okay yung performance nila. Kasi nagkakaroon din ng mga touches si Valanciunas.
Yan, nakita ko kanina.
Mm.
Parang 30 points siya.
Mm.
So, well, it's a toss-up, I would say. Between
Yeah,
San
50-50.
Antonio and Memphis. May coach
Saka, I
Pop
mean,
ka.
The Lakers played the Pelicans today and it was pretty close.
Mm.
So, I mean, Pelicans yun, which is, I would think, a worse team than the
No Zion.
Spurs or the Grizzlies.
Yes.
Wala pa si Zion. So, yeah, I think it would be closer than what people would expect. Assuming the Lakers face either the Spurs or the Grizzlies.
Wait, teka, question. Paano home and away setup sa play-in?
Yung Lakers, my home court since they're the higher seed. Tapos yung
Okay.
Memphis, my home court because they're number 9.
So higher seed lang din. Okay.
Yeah. Basically, yung pinakamataas na seed, yun yung my home court.
Home court. Okay, yeah. So same ano rin pala.
Yep.
So yun. Exciting times ahead.
Yes. Basta ako, tiwala lang kay Steph, Draymond. Super dehad talaga kami. Like, it's almost expected na the Lakers are gonna win. But, so as long as we have Steph, like anything can happen, guys.
Hinihintay ko na yung odds niyan eh. Hinihintay ko na yung odds ng game na yan. Pero malamang,
Close.
ang underdog pa rin ng Warriors.
Yes.
But, yeah, the Lakers have to be on their toes. So, we'll see.
Yep, so that's just us, talking about this new inaugural play-in, and if you're a casual fan, you're going to love this setup. But if you're one of those fans whose teams are in the play-in and you see your team eliminated on those dates, you're absolutely going to hate the format. But yeah, I mean, super good for the league. It's about time we have some competitive games again. And I guess this is a perfect start to having just that. So, di ko na ipa-preview yung playoffs. It's gonna be a super long discussion in itself. I just wanted to get your guys' opinions and thoughts on the play-in because I'm sure a lot are just going to be tuned into that Warriors-Lakers matchup and the other matchups in between. But I guess let's talk about
The Knicks. Joke lang. Sorry. Go ahead, Jake. Sorry.
yes. Oh yes, of course. Shout out to the Knicks. They're my second team behind the Warriors.
Ay, nga pala.
Kasi my dad and my cousin in New York, they're diehard Knicks fans, so they've been through a lot of shit. But here we are, back in the playoffs, 4th seed. And personally, guys, I think kaya nila yung Brooklyn. Like, you heard it first here, guys.
Ooh, hot take.
Hot take.
Lahat naman kaya lahat ng team on any given day. So, yeah.
Yeah, they still run New York, guys.
We'll see. We'll see. Hindi naman sila mag-aabot pa no? Wala pa, hindi sila magkalayo sila ng
Wala.
bracket
Di pa.
So, magkikita sila sa conference finals.
Conference
pa ata.
finals.
Conference finals. So, that would be nice. Battle
Yes.
of New York.
Yes. Kaya yan. With now that we've talked about the new stuff and all, let's talk about naman yung end of the season awards. But let's not go through everything because obviously the main contention right now is the most valuable player award, aka the trophy that you guys are seeing behind my back. So, guys, sino sa inyo ang MVP ng 2020-2021 season? Ang daming candidates, I know, but sa inyo, sino ang picks ninyo for the MVP award? I won't talk about every award because no one really, I wouldn't say no one cares about that, but sobrang hot topic ngayon talaga yung MVP. So, let's just focus on that for now.
Wala. Kayo muna. Wala akong isip. Wala akong call here. Wala.
Meron akong tatlong candidates pero medyo malabo yung isa since nasa top 2 yung dalawa eh. Nasa top yung dalawa, si Jokic tsaka si Steph. Yung pangatlo ko si CP3.
Wait. Okay.
So yun.
Yun rin sa akin actually. Pero late ko lang
Ako-
isip si Jokic.
Ako si Jokic. Kasi what he did with the Nuggets na-injure pa si Jamal Murray. Tapos during that time, syempre siya na yung main guy sa Denver. Tapos from that time, umangat palalo yung Denver. With, parang nabawasan na yung talent nila. Tapos hindi sila sabihin natin, as talented as the Lakers or the Clippers or even the Suns or the Jazz. Pero they're number ano sila? Number 3.
Three.
Number 3 pa sila. So, tapos he has good numbers. Di ba? Parang point center talaga siya yung laro niya. Because of that, I think his value shines the most out of those all the other candidates. Tapos, since na-mention ni Piel si Chris Paul, as a Suns fan, sasabihin ko, hindi siya MVP. I mean, tama yun, nasa number 3 lang siya. Tingin ko mas baba pa dapat eh. Kasi, yung narrative na yan na Chris Paul should be the MVP, tingin ko it diminishes what Devin Booker has done for the Suns and what the other players have built in Phoenix the past 2 years. And especially this year. Parang, maraming natulong si Chris Paul, pero to call him the MVP, parang medyo medyo disrespectful yun to Devin Booker. Parang, if anyone deserves to be talked about as MVP of sa Phoenix pa lang, siguro si Devin Booker yun. Na I think Chris Paul's value to the Suns is almost as much, if not equal to Devin Booker's value to the Suns. So in that sense, hindi siya MVP katulad ni Jokic, katulad ni Embiid sa teams nila. Kasi nga, yun, parang dinagdag mo lang siya. Tapos, syempre, umangat sila. Pero, regardless kung nandyan siya or wala, kung si Devin Booker lang yung star nila, mag-playoffs pa rin sila eh. Tingin ko eh. Baka nasa sila, number 5, number 6. Pero andun pa rin sila. Kung dinagdag mo lang si Chris Paul, tsaka sila number 2. Pero, yun nga, you can't talk about Chris Paul as MVP without mentioning the rest of the team for me.
If I were to pick sa tatlo, I'd go for Jokic for MVP. Kasi he does his work night in and night out. Hindi naman siya na-injure the whole season.
Yeah.
And and to think about it, if you think about it, in terms of effectiveness, they're number 3 in the West. A very competitive conference na, and yun nga, kasi players sa fantasy, wala siyang off night. That's how effective he was.
Actually, hindi yung reason ko.
No.
Kaya MVP kasi yung
Kasi, Steph Curry is having lumalaban siya in terms of the MVP right now. But then, if you're gonna compare the two in terms of how valuable they are to their teams in terms of effectiveness in the league in this season, kita mo naman na number 3 ang Denver at nasa number 8 pa ang Warriors. So, okay, they're good individually. Kung magawa na naman sila, malamang kayang talunin ni Curry si Jokic. Pero, in terms of the MVP award of the season, I'd give it to Jokic.
Yep.
Hey guys, I'm back here again. Anyway, sorry for the technical difficulties. Unfortunately, my audio got cut in the middle of the episode. But basically, to continue the conversation, my MVP is none other than Steph, Chef, look at Curry, man. And one of the questions I asked was who was going to win it all. They all had different picks. I think Fim, Enzo, and Pielo, they basically all predicted the Brooklyn Nets. But as for me, I got to be a loyal Warrior homer. We had to pick the Golden State Warriors to win it all. And yeah, it's basically it. That's all you missed. It's 30 minutes now, but those are just the questions that I was supposed to ask the MVP and the NBA champs. So there you guys go. You didn't really miss much, just final thoughts and all that. Basically, we're all just happy to have sports back. We did touch on the Hall of Fame ceremony that happened this past weekend. Basically, everyone here agreed that the members who were inducted last weekend are all our childhood heroes and people we look up to. I did mention that not seeing Kobe was a crime for all of us, or was such a shame. But yeah, we are so proud of Kobe, and I have the utmost respect for him, even coming from a hater. So that's all. If you do want to follow the Maroon Talk boys, I will show you a clip of the first episode we did on where you can check them out. But I'm terribly sorry for the technical difficulties, and I will make sure to do better for the next episodes. But I do hope y'all enjoyed that sports EP. I'm out for now. See ya. That's it. Go Warriors. Bye, everybody. Do you guys have any last minute plugs? Besides Maroon Talk, of course, which y'all should subscribe to, by the way. Where can my followers see you? Whether it's on IG, Twitter, or wherever. So this is now your chance. The floor is now yours to just spill in as much deets, as much plugs and accounts that you would like to share so that my listeners would be able to check you guys out wherever.
Yeah, just please like Maroon Talk's Facebook page and subscribe to the YouTube channel. For Twitter, IG, it's Femoran for me. For the others, go ahead.
Enzo Musicero everywhere. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Yan, hanapin nyo lang ako.
Ako naman, Pielo Mellow,
Hello.
Instagram, Twitter, tapos yung Agapel or Daniels na lang sa Facebook.
Naman, Tubianga, saka Tobizzle, Foshizzle.
Yeah.
Yun.
Yep. So there you guys go. Those are their plugs. If you want to follow me naman on IG for the podcast account, it is at JOAT.pod.delro. So once again, it is at JOAT.pod.delro. If you want to check out my personal account, it is at Jake_Delro. If you want to check me out on Twitter, it is at _Del_Row_. If you want to check me out on Facebook, it is facebook.com/JOAT.pod.delro. So it's just like my Instagram. Or if you just want to search it on the search tab, it is Jake of All Trades with Delro. This podcast can be viewed, listened to, streamed, and televised on the following platforms. So we have Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Radio Public, Breaker, and on YouTube. So with that out of the way, that's a wrap, y'all. Thank you for tuning in today, mga Del Bros at Sisters at mga taga-U peeps out here. This has been your one and only Jake of All Trades, and I am Delro. These are the Maroon Talk boys, and we're all signing out. Hanggang sa susunod na usapan at chikahan. See ya!
See you guys. Peace.
Yeah, thank you.
You.